Hello guys and gals, and welcome. So today I want to show you something very simple. I've had a lot of people come into stream and they've been very worried and they've been very scared, and what were they worried and scared about? Well, they were worried and scared about the fact that they died and they didn't know if they were going to be able to get their bodies back. And I'd like to take a minute and just go over death in Diablo 2 and what death means. So first off, we need to go and die. And what that means is that if we have items on our character, we will. Actually, you know what? Let me pick a different character for this. Somebody who actually has equipment. Zanazan. Let's go, Zanazan. So in Diablo 2, if you die, there are very specific consequences for your death. Number one, what you're going to notice is that when you die in hardcore, you don't come back. So before I start talking about death on softcore characters, let me just say this. When you die on hardcore, it's over. You don't get to come back from death on hardcore. Your character's items will be able to be looted by other players if you allow them to loot your items. So for instance, if say you're playing with two of your other buddies, when you go into the party panel, in the party panel up in the next to, like, for instance, the squelch and the mute buttons, where you can obviously mute your friends, there will also be a button specifically dedicated to allowing them to loot your corpse if you die. And that is the only way that anybody's going to be able to get access to your items if you die. So, so in a hardcore game, and say you're playing with your buddies and you die, and you have that enabled, they can walk up to your corpse and they can loot your items, and they can use them to hopefully survive. And then, if they're very nice, maybe they'll give the items back to you. Now, let's say, for instance, you're fighting in combat and you're in the middle of a battle like this and you die. You will lose all your items when you go back to town. So you'll notice that you're naked, and if you go into your inventory, you have nothing on your character. Basically, how Diablo's death system works is that your body drops on the ground, and when your body drops on the ground, you have nothing. There are certain penalties for dying, but none of those penalties apply in normal difficulty. The penalties are as follows. In Nightmare difficulty, you will lose 5% of the EXP needed to get to the next level. It's kind of an arbitrary number, and it doesn't really equal the same amount every single time. For instance, if you have a lot of EXP on your bar, you are going to lose more than if you have just a tiny bit on your bar. Because it's literally 5% of all the EXP that you have accumulated up to the next level in Nightmare difficulty. In Hell difficulty, it is 10% of the EXP that you've accumulated. Now, let's say, for instance, that I died in Hell difficulty, and I was running to get my corpse back, and I could not get it back. No matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, I just couldn't get my body back, and so I would continually run out, and I would die. Now, the thing about Diablo 2 is that they allow you to have multiple corpses. Now, in normal difficulty, there's no penalty, so your corpses don't contain your EXP. But in Nightmare in Hell difficulty, they do contain your EXP, and you will have multiple corpses containing multiple EXP. Now, if I click on this corpse right here, there was nothing on this corpse except for EXP, so I've only regained what I've lost. Now, if I go over to this other corpse, the one of mine that has my equipment, you'll notice that all of it pops back onto my character, and I'm able to shoot away. Now, let's say, for instance, for whatever reason, I was unable to get my corpse back. And there are situations where no matter how hard you try, no matter how desperately you do your darndest, no matter how many of your friends you call in to help, you just can't get your corpse back. What do you do in that situation? You've died about 100 times, you can't get your corpse back. how do you retrieve it if you can't physically get there to click on it and escape with your life? Well, the answer is that if you save and exit and you rejoin the game, you'll notice that you're naked. You rejoin a new game, your corpse will be waiting for you on the ground. Now, there is a problem with this. In Nightmare and Hell difficulty, remember I said you lose 5% and 10% of your EXP when you die. If you use this method of saving and exiting, you will lose all the EXP on your corpse. If you reclaim your corpse before you leave the game, you will regain 75% of the EXP that you lost. And in Hell difficulty, it can be a lot of EXP, especially if you are level like 93 and up, because once you start hitting level 93, level 94, level 95, 10% of your EXP can be a ridiculously large amount, especially when it can take you days to level up your character at those particular EXP points. Now, just to show you a hardcore character dying, and this is very sad, but we're going to go ahead and do it here. I don't even know if I have any hardcore characters on single player, but let's go ahead and create one, shall we? So we're going to make a quick hardcore character. I want to make a sorceress, and we're just going to name her Sacrifice. Sacrifice. And we're going to click on this little hardcore icon here. So this means that she will, if she dies, she will never come back. And it warns you, of course. It says once a hardcore character dies, it cannot be played again. Are you sure you wish to create a hardcore character? And of course I am, because I'm trying to show you guys something. So if we take our little hardcore character out here and we go into the deep dungeons of death out here. And, oh no, evil beware, watch out, watch out. Let's go into the Den of Evil. Oh, she died in the Den of Evil. Come here, broody brutes. Now, unlike in softcore, when you die in hardcore, there is no continue button to take you back to town. It just simply says your deeds of valor will be remembered, and your character is dead. Your character is just dead. And she remains there, of course, because they want you to remember her, and it literally will tell you that she is dead when you try and log into her, and it will show you her here as she last was when she died, as sort of like a memorial to her sacrifice. And I would like to show you guys one more thing, which is the EXP loss. And let me see if I can find a specific character who has a decent amount of EXP to show off. I'm not sure if my test druid even has EXP. He does. All right, so he has 190,000 or 190 million. Sorry, 190 million EXP. And he is currently 190 million to 200 million, so he needs 10 million more, right? So if we take him to Frigid Highlands real quick, and we bring him out here and get him killed, you're going to notice that his 190,000 EXP is going to go down significantly. So death takes its toll of 10,656 gold, and you have lost experience. So we had 190 million, and now we have 188,309,000. So we've lost a pretty decent amount of EXP. And if we can manage to reclaim our corpse, we will gain that back. Now, here's something that's very important about this, though. If you die again, you're going to lose another 10% of EXP. You're going to keep losing EXP every single time you die. And even if you reclaim all your corpses, you're still going to lose 25% of every corpse's EXP. Now you notice that even though I had 190 million before, and I died and reclaimed my corpse, I'm still missing a pretty large chunk of that EXP. I'm missing literally 500,000 EXP off my bar. And that's after reclaiming my corpse. So remember that if you're very close to leveling up, like really, really close to leveling up, try not to die. And if you do die, try to recover your corpse. But don't die a whole bunch of times trying to get your corpse back, because then you're going to lose even more EXP than when you started. And if you feel like it's a loss, just take the loss and leave the game and get your body back, because 9 times out of 10, if it's a lost cause scenario and you're just going to die over and over again trying to get your body back, don't waste the effort. Now, of course, if you think you can get your body back, or you have some friends who are willing to clear the space for you, give them a try. Maybe they'll work. You can also use the old save and exit method, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Basically, if you're in trouble, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to save and exit real quick, and hopefully it will save your character's life. There's actually a mod called the Chicken mod, which does this, and it's pretty much the laughing stock of the game, just simply because it literally does exactly what it says. It's a chicken mod. As soon as you're about to die, it saves and exits, and it doesn't always work either. Sometimes you load back in dead. Anyway, I hope that this video has been at least a little bit helpful for those of you who might have been frustrated. Maybe you couldn't get your body back and you were afraid you weren't going to be able to get your items. Now that you know that you could just simply save and exit to get your items, make that a little bit easier. I know that Diablo 2's death system may not be the most apparent, but hopefully this has given some of the newer players specifically a little bit more of an insight into how the death system works and what the penalties are. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching these videos, and keep watching.